Your liver is one of the hardest working organs in your entire body. Right now, as you sit and listen to this, your liver is quietly performing over 500 different functions to keep you alive and healthy. It filters your blood, produces bile to help digest fats, stores energy, manufactures proteins, and detoxifies harmful substances that enter your system every single day. Without a healthy liver, nothing in your body works the way it should. But here's something that most people never think about. Your liver can get sick silently. It can fill up with fat gradually over months and years without giving you a single warning sign. You might feel a little tired. You might notice your digestion is not quite right. You might put on a bit of weight around your belly that just will not go away no matter what you do. These are the quiet whispers of a liver that is struggling under a burden of fat. This condition is called fatty liver disease, and it has become one of the most common liver conditions in the world today. It affects people of all ages, all body types, and all backgrounds. You do not have to drink alcohol to develop it. You do not have to be obese. In fact, millions of people walking around right now have fatty liver disease and have absolutely no idea. The good news is this: your liver is also one of the most resilient and regenerative organs in the human body. Given the right support, the right nutrition, and the right habits, your liver can heal itself in ways that are truly remarkable. And today we are going to talk about 5 of the most powerful, most effective, most science-backed drinks you can add to your daily routine to help your liver shed that fat, reduce inflammation, repair damaged cells, and function at its absolute best. These are not exotic potions. They are not expensive supplements. They are drinks that you can find in almost any grocery store in almost any country in the world. But do not let their simplicity fool you. The compounds inside these drinks have been studied in laboratories, tested in clinical trials, and proven to make a real and measurable difference to liver health. So let us begin. The first drink on our list is green tea. And if you already drink green tea, what you are about to hear will give you even more reason to keep pouring that cup every morning. If you have never really gotten into green tea, by the time we are done with this section, you may want to start. Green tea comes from the Camellia sinensis plant, which has been cultivated and consumed in Asia for thousands of years. But while people have known for centuries that green tea is good for you, it is only in the last few decades that modern science has begun to truly understand why. The secret lies in a family of powerful antioxidants called catechins. And the most important catechin in green tea, the one that has attracted the most scientific attention when it comes to liver health, is a compound called epigallocatechin 3-gallate. Scientists usually refer to it simply as EGCG, and for good reason, because it is one of the most studied plant compounds on the planet. EGCG works on the liver in several fascinating ways. First, it is a powerful antioxidant, meaning it neutralizes the free radicals that cause oxidative stress inside liver cells. When your liver is processing fat, toxins, and other substances, it generates a byproduct called reactive oxygen species. These are essentially unstable molecules that bounce around inside your cells and cause damage. EGCG acts like a shield, absorbing those reactive molecules before they can harm liver tissue, but EGCG does something even more specific when it comes to fat. Research has shown that EGCG can directly inhibit the accumulation of fat in liver cells. It does this by interacting with the enzymes involved in fat synthesis and fat storage. In simple terms, it tells your liver cells to stop hoarding fat and start burning it instead. A study published in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences found that green tea extracts significantly reduced liver fat content and improved liver enzyme levels in people with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. These are real patients with real liver problems, and green tea extract made a measurable difference in their liver health markers. Another important benefit of green tea for the liver is its anti-inflammatory properties. Inflammation is a major driver of liver damage and fatty liver disease. When fat builds up in liver cells, it triggers an inflammatory response that can eventually lead to scarring, a condition called fibrosis, and in more advanced cases, cirrhosis. The catechins in green tea help dampen that inflammatory response, protecting the liver from further damage while it heals. There is also evidence that green tea improves insulin sensitivity, which matters enormously for liver health. One of the key drivers of fatty liver disease is insulin resistance, a condition where your cells stop responding properly to insulin and sugar starts building up in the bloodstream. The liver then converts that excess sugar into fat and stores it. By improving insulin sensitivity, Green tea helps break that cycle at its root. Now, there are a few things worth knowing about how to get the most out of green tea for your liver. The quality and preparation of your tea matters quite a bit. The highest quality green tea for liver health is matcha, which is a powdered form of green tea made from shade-grown leaves. Because you are consuming the entire leaf in powdered form rather than just the brewed liquid, matcha contains significantly higher concentrations of EGCG than regular steeped green tea. When brewing regular green tea, the temperature of your water matters. Water that is too hot can actually destroy some of the delicate catechins. Ideally, you want water that is around 80 degrees Celsius or about 175 degrees Fahrenheit rather than a full rolling boil. Allow the tea to steep for about 2 to 3 minutes for a good extraction of the beneficial compounds. Drinking 2 to 3 cups of green tea per day appears to be the sweet spot for liver benefits based on the research. More is not necessarily better, as very high doses of green tea extract in supplement form have actually been linked to liver stress in rare cases. The tea itself, in normal quantities, is safe and beneficial for most people. One more thing about green tea and your liver. It pairs beautifully with a small amount of lemon juice. The vitamin C in lemon juice actually helps preserve the catechins in green tea and may increase their absorption in your digestive system, which is a perfect bridge to our next drink. The second drink on our list is lemon water. Simple, accessible, inexpensive. And for your liver, genuinely transformative when consumed consistently over time. Lemon water is exactly what it sounds like. Fresh lemon juice squeezed into water, ideally warm water, ideally first thing in the morning before you eat or drink anything else. This is a practice that has been recommended by naturopathic practitioners for generations, and modern science is now beginning to confirm that there is real biochemical logic behind it. Let us start with vitamin C, because lemons are one of the richest sources of vitamin C available in nature. A single medium-sized lemon contains about 30 to 40 milligrams of vitamin C, which is a significant portion of your daily requirement. And vitamin C is absolutely critical for liver function. Here's why. Your liver is in the business of detoxification. It takes harmful substances, both those produced by your own metabolism and those that enter your body from the outside, and it converts them into less harmful forms that can be excreted. This process, called phase 2 detoxification, requires the production of glutathione. Glutathione is often called the master antioxidant of the body, and it is so important to liver health that some liver medications are actually based on boosting glutathione levels. Vitamin C is one of the key nutrients your body needs to produce glutathione, and lemon water delivers it first thing in the morning when your liver has been working overnight and its reserves are at their lowest. But the benefits of lemon water for the liver go beyond vitamin C. Lemons contain a group of plant compounds called flavonoids, including a particularly important one called naringenin. Research has shown that naringenin has direct anti-inflammatory effects on liver cells and can help reduce the accumulation of fat in the liver by influencing the same metabolic pathways that contribute to fatty liver disease. There is also a compound in lemons called D-limonene, found primarily in the lemon peel but present in smaller amounts in the juice as well. D-limonene has been studied for its ability to support liver detoxification enzymes, specifically the cytochrome P450 enzymes that are responsible for breaking down and neutralizing a wide range of toxic substances. One of the most important but least understood benefits of lemon water for the liver is its effect on bile production. Bile is the greenish yellow fluid produced by the liver and stored in the gallbladder. It plays a critical role in the digestion of fats and the excretion of waste products from the liver. When bile flow is sluggish, toxins and waste can build up in the liver, contributing to congestion and inflammation. The citric acid and other compounds in lemon juice act as natural cholagogues, meaning they stimulate the liver to produce more bile and the gallbladder to release it. This keeps the liver's waste removal system working smoothly and efficiently. Lemon water also has a mild alkalizing effect on the body's overall pH, despite the fact that lemons themselves are acidic. This might sound contradictory, but it comes down to how the organic acids in lemon juice are metabolized. When the citric acid in lemons is broken down during digestion, it leaves behind alkaline mineral residues that help buffer the body's pH in a slightly more alkaline direction. A more alkaline internal environment is generally associated with reduced inflammation and better overall metabolic function. The hydration aspect of lemon water should not be overlooked either. Your liver requires adequate water to perform all of its functions effectively. Detoxification, bile production, protein synthesis, and the transport of nutrients all depend on proper hydration. Many people are chronically mildly dehydrated without realizing it, and this puts a constant low-level strain on liver function. Starting your day with a large glass of lemon water immediately addresses that deficit before it has a chance to compound. For best results, use the juice of half a fresh lemon in a glass of warm, not boiling water. Warm water is easier on your digestive system first thing in the morning and may help stimulate bile flow more effectively than cold water. Drink it on an empty stomach before breakfast, ideally waiting at least 20 to 30 minutes before eating to allow the lemon water to do its work without interference from food. A word of practical advice. Because lemon juice is acidic, drinking it frequently can potentially affect tooth enamel over time. To minimize this risk, you can drink your lemon water through a straw so it bypasses your teeth, or rinse your mouth with plain water afterwards. Do not brush your teeth immediately after drinking lemon water, as the acid temporarily softens enamel and brushing can cause microabrasion. Wait at least 30 minutes before brushing. The third drink on our list might surprise you. Beetroot juice. That deep, rich, almost startlingly purple-red liquid that looks like something out of a fairy tale. If you have never tried beetroot juice for its health benefits, you are missing out on one of the most potent liver-supporting foods that nature has to offer. Beets, also known as beetroots, are root vegetables that have been eaten for thousands of years. They were used medicinally in ancient Rome and have been a staple of traditional European medicine for centuries. But it is in the modern era of nutritional science that we have truly come to understand the extraordinary complexity of the compounds that give beets their remarkable health properties. The most famous compounds in beets are called betalains. These are the pigments responsible for that brilliant, deep red and purple color. Betalains are a unique class of antioxidants found in very few foods, and beets are by far the richest source. There are two main types of betalains in beets. The red-purple ones are called betacyanins, and the yellow-orange ones are called betaxanthins. Together, they form one of the most potent antioxidant systems found in any vegetable. For the liver specifically, betalains provide extraordinary protection against oxidative stress. Remember how we talked about reactive oxygen species when discussing green tea? Betalains are also highly effective at neutralizing these harmful molecules. But betalains have an additional trick. They also appear to support the liver's own internal antioxidant enzymes, including superoxide dismutase and catalase, essentially boosting the liver's natural defense systems rather than just supplementing them from outside. But perhaps the most exciting compound in beetroot juice for liver health is something called betaine. Betaine is a naturally occurring substance that plays a critical role in a process called methylation. Methylation is a biochemical process that happens billions of times per second in every cell of your body, and is essential for proper liver function, DNA repair, detoxification, and the regulation of inflammation. One of betaine's most important roles in the liver is helping to prevent and reverse the accumulation of fat. It does this through a process called reverse cholesterol transport, helping to move fats out of liver cells and back into circulation where they can be burned for energy. Research published in the journal Nutrition has shown that betaine supplementation can significantly reduce liver fat content and improve liver function tests in patients with fatty liver disease. Beetroot juice also contains high levels of folate, another nutrient critical for liver health and methylation. Folate works synergistically with betaine in the methylation cycle, and a deficiency in folate has been linked to increased risk of fatty liver disease and liver damage. There is another compound in beets that deserves special attention: dietary nitrates. Beets are one of the richest dietary sources of nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a molecule that relaxes and widens blood vessels, improving blood flow throughout the body. For the liver, improved blood flow means better delivery of oxygen and nutrients to liver cells and more efficient removal of waste products and toxins. Better liver circulation means a liver that can do its job more effectively. The anti-inflammatory properties of beetroot juice are also substantial. Several studies have shown the betalains and other compounds in beets can reduce the activity of inflammatory enzymes and signaling molecules, including something called tumor necrosis factor alpha, or TNF-alpha, which is a key driver of liver inflammation and fatty liver disease. By reducing TNF-alpha activity, beetroot juice helps protect liver cells from the inflammatory damage that accelerates the progression of fatty liver disease to more serious conditions. A clinical trial published in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that participants who consumed beetroot juice daily for 8 weeks showed significant improvements in markers of liver inflammation and oxidative stress compared to a control group. These are not small or marginal improvements. We are talking about meaningful changes in measurable biological markers. How should you consume beetroot juice? Fresh pressed beetroot juice is ideal, as processing and pasteurization can reduce the concentration of betalains and nitrates. If you have a juicer at home, juicing fresh beets is the best option. If you are buying commercial beetroot juice, look for cold-pressed varieties with no added sugar. You can also consume beets in the form of beetroot powder mixed with water, which retains most of the beneficial compounds. A serving of about 250 milliliters, or roughly 1 cup, of beetroot juice per day is a reasonable and effective amount for liver support. Because of its strong earthy flavor, many people prefer to mix it with apple juice, carrot juice, or a small amount of ginger for palatability. Adding ginger is actually a good idea beyond just taste, as ginger has its own impressive liver protective properties. One completely harmless side effect of drinking beetroot juice is that it can temporarily turn your urine and stools a reddish-pink color. This phenomenon is called bituria, and it is perfectly normal. It happens because some people do not fully break down the betalain pigments during digestion, and they pass through the system intact. If you see pink in the toilet after drinking beetroot juice, there is absolutely nothing to worry about. The fourth drink on our list is one that will make a lot of people very happy to hear about. Coffee. Real, actual coffee. The drink that billions of people around the world rely on every single morning. And it turns out that coffee, far from being a guilty pleasure that you should feel bad about, is one of the most powerfully liver protective substances that human beings regularly consume. The relationship between coffee and liver health is one of the most robustly documented associations in nutritional epidemiology. The evidence base for coffee's beneficial effects on the liver is vast, consistent, and frankly quite remarkable. We are not talking about a few small studies with uncertain results. We are talking about decades of research involving hundreds of thousands of people across multiple countries and cultures. Let us start with the big picture. Multiple large population studies have found that people who drink coffee regularly have significantly lower rates of liver cirrhosis, liver cancer, and death from liver disease than people who do not drink coffee. A landmark meta-analysis that pooled data from 9 separate studies found that drinking 2 cups of coffee per day was associated with a 44% reduction in the risk of liver cirrhosis. That is a staggering protective effect from something as simple as a daily cup of coffee. But why? What is in coffee that makes it so protective for the liver? The answer turns out to be surprisingly complex, because coffee is not a simple substance. It contains over 1,000 different chemical compounds, and several of them appear to contribute to liver protection through different mechanisms. Caffeine itself plays a role. Caffeine has been shown to inhibit certain enzymes and signaling pathways that promote liver fibrosis, the scarring process that leads to cirrhosis. But here is something very interesting. Studies have found that decaffeinated coffee also has protective effects on the liver, which means that caffeine is not the only active ingredient. This is important because it means that people who are sensitive to caffeine or who need to limit their intake can still benefit from decaffeinated coffee. 2 compounds that have received particular scientific attention are cafestol and cawel. These are diterpene compounds found in coffee oils, and they have been shown to have anti-inflammatory and anti-carcinogenic properties in liver tissue. Interestingly, these compounds are largely removed by paper filters, so they are present in higher concentrations in unfiltered coffee preparations like French press, espresso, and Turkish coffee. Coffee also contains a remarkable array of polyphenols and antioxidants. In fact, for many people in Western countries, coffee is actually the primary source of antioxidants in their diet, contributing more total antioxidant intake than fruits and vegetables combined. These antioxidants protect liver cells from oxidative damage and help maintain the liver's natural defense systems. One of the most well-studied effects of coffee on the liver is its ability to produce liver enzymes. Elevated levels of liver enzymes in the blood, specifically ALT and AST, are a key indicator of liver inflammation and damage. Multiple studies have consistently found that coffee drinkers have lower levels of these enzymes than non-coffee drinkers. In people with pre-existing liver disease, regular coffee consumption has been shown to slow the progression of the disease and reduce the risk of complications. Coffee also appears to influence liver fat metabolism. Research has shown that coffee consumption is associated with lower liver fat content, and studies in animal models have demonstrated that coffee compounds can inhibit the accumulation of fat in liver cells and promote its breakdown. One mechanism involves coffee's effects on adiponectin, a hormone that plays an important role in fat metabolism and insulin sensitivity. Coffee consumption is associated with higher adiponectin levels, which in turn promotes fat burning in the liver. There is also growing evidence that coffee protects against liver cancer, specifically hepatocellular carcinoma, which is the most common type of primary liver cancer. A comprehensive meta-analysis of 26 studies found that drinking 2 to 3 cups of coffee per day was associated with a roughly 40% reduction in the risk of hepatocellular carcinoma. This is one of the strongest dietary associations with cancer prevention that has been identified. How much coffee should you drink for liver protection? The research suggests that 2 to 4 cups per day is the sweet spot where liver benefits are most consistently demonstrated. More than 4 to 5 cups per day does not appear to provide additional liver benefits and may introduce other concerns related to caffeine intake, such as sleep disruption and cardiovascular effects. The type of coffee matters as well. Freshly brewed coffee from quality beans contains the highest concentration of beneficial compounds. Instant coffee, while more convenient, has lower levels of many of the beneficial polyphenols and diterpenes. Heavily sweetened coffee drinks with large amounts of added sugar, cream, and flavored syrups are counterproductive, as the sugar and excess fat can contribute to exactly the metabolic problems you are trying to address. For liver health, black coffee or coffee with minimal additions is best. One more point worth making: the benefits of coffee for liver health appear to be dose dependent up to a point, meaning that more cups within the beneficial range provides more protection. But these benefits exist on top of, not instead of, a healthy overall diet and lifestyle. Coffee is not a cure or a substitute for good nutrition and regular physical activity. Think of it as a powerful ally in your liver health toolkit. Shh. The fifth and final drink on our list brings us to one of the most ancient and revered medicinal spices in human history: turmeric. Specifically, turmeric consumed as a warm drink, often called golden milk or turmeric tea. And while turmeric has been used in Ayurvedic and traditional Chinese medicine for literally thousands of years, modern science is now revealing the extraordinary precision with which its active compounds interact with the biology of liver disease. Turmeric gets its brilliant golden yellow color from a family of compounds called curcuminoids, the most important of which is curcuminoids. Curcumin is arguably the most extensively studied natural compound in the world today. There are thousands of published scientific papers examining its properties, and its effects on liver health are among the most well-documented of all its many biological activities. Let us start with inflammation, because curcumin is one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatory compounds known to science. Liver inflammation is the central process in the progression of fatty liver disease. When fat accumulates in liver cells, it triggers inflammatory signaling cascades that, if left unchecked, lead to cellular damage, scarring, and ultimately cirrhosis. Curcumin interrupts these inflammatory cascades at multiple points. Specifically, curcumin inhibits a master regulatory protein called NF-kappa B, which stands for nuclear factor kappa B. NF-kappa B is sometimes called the master switch of inflammation because it controls the expression of dozens of pro-inflammatory genes. By blocking NF-kappa B, curcumin essentially turns down the volume on the inflammatory response throughout the liver. Research published in the journal Food and Chemical Toxicology demonstrated that curcumin supplementation significantly reduced NF-kappa B activity and inflammatory markers in patients with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Curcumin is also a remarkable antioxidant, but it works differently from most dietary antioxidants. Rather than simply scavenging free radicals directly, curcumin activates a protein called NRF2, which is essentially the body's master antioxidant switch. When NRF2 is activated, it switches on the production of the body's own internal antioxidant enzymes, including glutathione, superoxide dismutase, and catalase. This means that curcumin amplifies the liver's built-in protective systems rather than just adding external antioxidants to compensate for a deficit. For liver fat specifically, curcumin has shown impressive effects in multiple clinical studies. A randomized controlled trial published in the journal Phytotherapy Research found that curcumin supplementation over 8 weeks led to significant reductions in liver fat content as measured by ultrasound in patients with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Another study published in Complementary Therapies in Medicine found that curcumin supplementation improved liver enzyme levels, reduced total cholesterol, and decreased markers of liver fibrosis. Curcumin also appears to protect against liver fibrosis through a specific mechanism involving cells called hepatic stellate cells. These are the cells responsible for producing the scar tissue that forms during liver fibrosis. Normally, when the liver is chronically inflamed, these cells become activated and start laying down collagen and other fibrous proteins that progressively stiffen and damage the liver. Curcumin has been shown to inhibit the activation of hepatic stellate cells and even to promote the death of already activated stellate cells, potentially allowing scar tissue to be reabsorbed. There is one critical issue with curcumin that must be addressed. On its own, curcumin is very poorly absorbed by the human body. When you consume plain turmeric powder, most of the curcumin passes through your digestive system without being absorbed into your bloodstream in significant quantities. This is why many turmeric supplement studies using plain curcumin have shown inconsistent results. The solution to this absorption problem has been known for centuries in traditional medicine and is now confirmed by modern science. Black pepper, specifically a compound in black pepper called piperine. Piperine dramatically enhances the bioavailability of curcumin, and we are not talking about a small enhancement. Studies have shown that consuming curcumin with piperine increases its bioavailability by up to 2,000%. That is an extraordinary difference. The second bioavailability enhancer is fat. Curcumin is fat-soluble, meaning it dissolves in fat and is absorbed much more efficiently when consumed alongside a fat source. This is why traditional turmeric preparations like golden milk, which combine turmeric with warm milk and often include coconut oil or ghee, are so much more effective than simply sprinkling turmeric powder on food. Here is a simple and effective recipe for a liver-supporting turmeric drink. Take 1 cup of your preferred milk, whether dairy or a plant-based alternative like oat milk or almond milk. Heat it gently on the stove until warm but not boiling. Add 1 teaspoon of high-quality turmeric powder. Add a small pinch of black pepper, even just a few grinds from a pepper mill. Add half a teaspoon of coconut oil or a small piece of butter for the fat solubility benefit. You can also add a small amount of honey for sweetness and ginger for additional anti-inflammatory benefit. Stir well and drink it warm. This golden milk drink, consumed once daily, provides a concentrated dose of curcumin in a highly bioavailable form. Many people find it most beneficial to drink it in the evening as a calming pre-sleep ritual, which also aligns well with the liver's pattern of increased detoxification activity during nighttime hours. Turmeric is generally very safe for most people at dietary levels and at reasonable supplemental doses. However, very high doses of curcumin supplements can occasionally cause digestive discomfort, and there are some interactions with blood-thinning medications to be aware of. If you are on any medications, particularly anticoagulants, it is worth discussing turmeric supplementation with your healthcare provider. We have now explored 5 of the most powerful and scientifically supported drinks for liver health. Green tea with its catechins and EGCG that directly inhibit fat accumulation and protect against oxidative stress. Lemon water with its vitamin C, naringenin, and bile-stimulating properties that support detoxification from the very first sip of the morning. Beetroot juice with its betalains, betaine, and dietary nitrates that reduce inflammation, prevent fat accumulation, and improve liver circulation. Coffee with its extraordinary array of protective compounds that reduce the risk of cirrhosis, liver cancer, and liver inflammation in ways that are among the most robustly documented associations in all of nutritional science. And turmeric drinks, with their curcumin content that addresses liver disease at the deepest molecular level, turning off the master switches of inflammation and amplifying the liver's own antioxidant defenses. Each of these drinks addresses liver health through different mechanisms, and their benefits are largely complementary rather than overlapping. This means that incorporating multiple drinks from this list into your daily routine provides a broader and more comprehensive protective effect than relying on any single one alone. A practical approach might look something like this. Start your morning with a large glass of warm lemon water before anything else. Follow it with 1 to 2 cups of green tea during the morning hours. With your breakfast or mid-morning, have your coffee if you are a coffee drinker. In the afternoon, or as an afternoon snack, consider a small glass of beetroot juice, perhaps mixed with apple or carrot for palatability. And in the evening, wind down with a warm cup of golden milk, your turmeric drink with black pepper and a healthy fat. This daily rhythm of liver-supporting drinks creates a continuous stream of protective compounds flowing through your liver across the entire day. Your liver never goes long without receiving some form of antioxidant support, anti-inflammatory protection, or metabolic assistance. But I want to be clear about something very important. These drinks are powerful tools, but they are tools within a broader context of liver health, not substitutes for addressing the root causes of fatty liver disease. The primary drivers of fatty liver disease are poor diet, excess sugar consumption, excess alcohol, physical inactivity, obesity, and certain medications. No drink, however beneficial, can fully compensate for a diet built on processed foods, refined sugars, and excessive calories. The foundation of liver health is a diet rich in whole foods, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats, combined with regular physical activity, adequate sleep, and avoidance of excessive alcohol. The drinks we have discussed today are powerful enhancements to that foundation, multiplying its effectiveness and providing protection that food alone cannot fully match. But they work best when the foundation is solid. Your liver has served you faithfully every day of your life. It has filtered, detoxified, stored, produced, and metabolized without complaint, often in the face of habits and substances that made its job considerably harder. It deserves your attention and your care. And the beautiful thing is that it responds to that care with remarkable speed and resilience. Studies have shown that even in cases of significant fatty liver disease, meaningful improvements in liver fat content and liver function markers can be detected within just 8 to 12 weeks of dietary and lifestyle changes. Your liver wants to heal. It is built for it. And every glass of green tea, every cup of lemon water, every shot of beetroot juice, every morning coffee, and every warm cup of golden milk is a message to your liver that you are on its side. Take care of your liver, and your liver will take care of you for a very long time to come.